Alright, I guess I'm gonna tell you my honest opinion of INTPs. And honestly, I've been dreading to do this one. I've been putting it off, even though I feel like INTPs want to know what I think about them more than any other type. Yeah, I got a comment from an INTP asking, I said something about an ESFP about how I like all of them, and that they like me when they first meet me, but that they might become salty with me. And that INTP asked if I felt similarly about INTPs, and how I would answer that is I would say that they definitely like me when they first meet me, but if they stop liking me, or if they don't get salty, but they might over time like get upset that I'm not giving them attention, or like that I don't or if I don't agree with them. And they can kind of turn on you and be like, you aren't who I thought you were. And a lot of times they have like rose-colored glasses when they meet me, and I feel like they don't even really judge me correctly. Like they, oh gosh, like they either think I'm like the most perfect, amazing person in the world, or they think that I'm like a complete fraud and like they hate me. And it doesn't seem like they ever can get a clear view of me as like a person that makes mistakes, person that isn't perfect, because I don't know if it's just that they envy my traits a lot, but definitely they have rose-colored glasses when they look at me, which, okay, I forgot to do the disclaimer. I've been doing these videos for a bunch of different types, and disclaimer, stereotypes are bad. Don't speak for all ENFJs. I am just speaking from my experience and from the INTPs that I know. And I just wanted to give a general overview of how I feel like I interact with INTPs. So yeah, going off that, rose-colored glasses, they definitely envy parts of me. But then I think as like a coping mechanism, whenever they either feel inferior to me or they find something they don't like about me, then they kind of can switch on me and be like, to make themselves feel better, I think, about themselves, they can sort of be really critical and nitpicky about me, and like they'll either have the rose-colored glasses, or they will switch to like viewing me through all my flaws. Forgot to say, I should say this out there, like I'm being critical because I know that you INTPs can take it, but let me just start off and say that I really do enjoy INTPs. I think that they are one of the most compatible types to me, but also you guys are annoying as hell, and I love you, but I think that sometimes when types are compatible, then that also means that they push each other to be better, and I definitely think that's true about INTPs. I'm a little burnt out, to be completely honest, with INTPs, because I think what happens, okay, from my view, I kind of talked about maybe how they view me, but there's been so many times when I've met an INTP and I'm like, oh my god, they understand me more than anyone else has. Like, I feel so seen, and I feel so understood, and I feel so loved, and I feel like, oh my goodness, someone's curious about me, someone wants to entertain my ideas. Like, someone doesn't think that my thoughts are boring. Like, oh my goodness, like, I've never experienced something like this. And like, oh my gosh, they give me so many things to think about. And they're so smart and so incredible and all these things. But then, then there comes a point where they don't understand me. And it kind of blindsides me. Because I sometimes view them as like, oh my gosh, we're so similar. And even though you don't necessarily think of ENFJs and INTPs being like similar people, like, I think when you get to the inner workings of our brain and not what we present, we are pretty similar deep down. And the way that we both can get overly anxious about things, we both want to be good people. We both are always like taking things with a grain of salt and like second guessing our ideas and trying to refine our ideas, and we both want to refine the way that the world is so that it works better. When I dated an INTP, something that we used to do was be like, we played this game where it's like, all right, what do you hate? You know what I hate? I hate this. And then like we would take turns and it would be like, what could we make fun of the most or whatever? Like, we would go to Hy-Vee or whatever and be like, I can't believe that they're fucking selling this dumb thing of Oreos for $1 when it's in a pack, when really you can get more Oreos if you just buy the thing. Like, why do they do that? And INTPs is one of the only other types where I feel they really get as excitable as I am, where they're like, oh my god, why do they do that? Or like they'll like make fun of commercials and be like, that guy's so dumb, or like, I don't know, like, it's just so funny. And I'm trying not to get like emotional here because, like, disclosure, like, I dated an INTP that it ended very horribly, and I don't really want to talk about this here. I want to try and not use that as a lens of the way I'm judging all INTPs, but just trying to explain like the dynamic of, like, I remember when we'd say like, oh, like, you know what I hate? I hate planned obsolescence. I hate fast fashion. I hate patent trolls. I hate styrofoam cups. Like, we would just like play this game or whatever. Anyway, I feel for INTPs because the way that they critique the world, like, I know that they're critiquing themselves even harder, and you guys are better than that. Your ideas are better than that. Similarly to INFPs, if you watch that video, like, the world needs your ideas, the world needs you to refine it, and please, like, take a seat at the table, like, don't sell yourself short. Another thing that's happened with INTPs and me is that they think that I'm trying to change them when I'm not. I'm just trying to give them feedback. They definitely give feedback way better than they're able to take it, it seems, which isn't really fair. Also, like, please don't freak out on me, INTPs, but I do believe that INTPs are the most emotionally volatile type. You guys are gonna be like, no, I'm not emotional at all. I don't have any emotions. How dare you say that? But, like, let's be honest. You are. INTPs care what people think a lot. And they get really upset when they're left out of the group, but then they also don't try to be part of the group. And, I'm sorry if I'm being very critical. I just feel like my relationship with INTPs is so complex. I view them as I wish they'd be more positive. I wish they'd love themselves more. I wish they'd go for their... I wish that whenever they have a desire, they wouldn't shut it down and think that they don't deserve that desire. INTPs are like that guy that is like always trying to be right on internet forums, and like they really like Reddit, and I think that they think it's a lot easier to sound right behind a computer screen than to actually talk to somebody and listen to their point of view. But at the same time, INTPs can be really great listeners. And I'm just gonna say again one more time that, like, it's been a while since I've interacted with a healthy INTP, so I'm probably being too critical on you guys, but it's just because I see your potential, and you guys are sharp, you guys are funny, you guys are always thinking of every possibility, and you're opinionated, and you're amazing, and your ideas matter, and it just is really hurtful whenever you act like a dick. Like, let's just be honest. Like, INTPs act out whenever they don't feel loved, and it's very obvious to me. I talked in the ENTJ video about how they care about being respected, and they care about their image a little bit. But ENTJs don't act out whenever they don't feel loved. They just continue going toward the goal. INTPs will create scenes. And I don't know if they know that they're creating a scene because their extroverted sensing is so bad. But something I've noticed about INTPs is that it's either their fault or it's the world's fault. They don't really know how to be like, all right, it was partially my fault, it was partially the world's fault. And so I think that they can get in this trap where they're like saying it's the world's fault because they don't want to feel like a bad person. And there is some give and take. Like, you can take responsibility for part of what happened, but also understand that you're in an unfortunate circumstance. I think INTPs have a hard time getting over childhood trauma. I know a lot of them that are like, I was bullied in high school, so like I get to act like a dick or something. Like, I'm a good guy because I was bullied in high school, and or like I'm a nice guy. Why do nice guys always finish last? Like, how come this girl won't date me? And like, INTPs just so do not want to recognize their own flaws because they try so hard to not be flawed, and they think so much about what the perfect thing to do and what the most righteous thing to do. And but they also can make really good, they're really good at leading in the sense where they ask everyone about their ideas and then refine it into what they think is the best idea, encompassing all of that. I think they make good politicians. Really good at debating, but it's almost scary how often they could play devil's advocate. I don't envy being an INTP. I think that must feel really scary, like to live in your brain. Like, to always know the devil's advocate point of view to every action you're doing, and to have so much anxiety about which action to take. Like, I really feel for that. Man, if I can just say anything, I just wish that INTPs understand their worth and that they let themselves be who they want to be, and that they go after their desires. Because I think that INTPs a lot of times are really righteous, good people trapped in a cage of fear. And similarly to INFPs, INFPs can get kind of selfish in their little cage of fear, but INTPs always have this desperate need to help the world and to help others, and a lot of times they carry the weight of the world on their shoulders, and they have so many noble causes and so many noble desires. And if you just believed in yourself, like, you'd change the world, like. And I can't be the one to tell you to believe in yourself. And what happens is that with INTP friends, it's like I believe in them, and so they like me because I'm like on their side and I'm like cheering them on, and they kind of need a cheerleader and a push sometimes. But then they like resent me. I don't know, I feel like they have like weird expectations about who I am or like what I can give them. I don't know, like, I think it's because they can't accept the flaws in themselves that they don't accept them in me. But the thing is that I'm not as critical as you are, INTP, and a lot of the reason why I'm able to make my ideas move and help the world and be more active is because I'm able to be okay with making mistakes. And I think that that's why INTPs don't always like bring their ideas to life, is because they're afraid of making mistakes. But okay, INTPs are very adaptable, and I think that if they believed in something enough, they would make a great entrepreneur. You guys just don't make fucking sense to me, like, really, to be honest. Like, I think that our interactions boil down to INTPs not understanding how capable and how valuable they are and how much they have to offer. They also don't understand that just simply their presence being next to me is important. And INTPs are very grateful people. And they're good at noticing things about other people. And they're good at giving gifts. And when they really love someone, or if they really care about someone, they notice everything about them, and they analyze them, and they know what makes them tick, and they can almost like guess what you're gonna do before you do it. Whenever they take the time to observe you, like, they're really good at reading people. I think that they always think that they have to be doing something or giving something, and that they aren't worthy if they're just relaxing. They aren't worthy, like, it's like they feel like just loving you isn't enough, and that they have to make you happy. Like, make you dinner. Like, do this, do that. It's not true. Like, you being yourself is enough. You being in the room is enough. You don't have to say anything interesting. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be. And I know that's like the hardest thing in the world for INTPs. And I think that a lot of them, like, might have, if I was in a bad mood and they felt that they couldn't fix it, then they'll like just think, fine, like, I guess we aren't compatible. Or like, oh, like, I guess I'll never be able to give her what she needs. That's not true. Like, my emotions have nothing to do with you. My emotions have nothing to do with what you can give for me. And INTPs, a lot of times, they're so reactionary about their emotions that they expect that everyone else in the world is reactionary as well, when a lot of emotions aren't that way. And that's introverted feeling domain. Introverted feeling is when you have an emotion in a way that's not reactionary but is organic. And I can explain that like in another video, but yeah, you guys are perfect just the way you are. Like, you don't you don't have to change. Like, you don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to be right. Like, you guys are perfect. So, I know you don't believe me, but I mean, I just like tore you to shreds a little bit, and then I just told you you're perfect. I know that doesn't make sense. It's kind of hypocritical. But you guys would be so much easier to deal with if you could just understand that, like, we're all flawed. So that means you're flawed too. So when you mess up, that's fine. Don't lash out on other people for calling it out. But also, other people are flawed too. So don't be like, I was wrong about you, or like freak out if someone like has a flaw. And also agree to disagree, maybe, every once in a while. But that's all I'm gonna say about INTPs. I think they're one of the most compatible types to me. Like, I could end up with an INTP. I don't know. Like, TPs, the way they just offer me things that nobody else can. But I'm also just I'm burnt out from being misunderstood by INTPs. I feel like they misunderstand me all the time. And they take things personally that I say, and oh boy. Yeah, it really hurts when they misunderstand me, because I feel like they can get kind of trapped in their own ideology about how the way things are. And, oh, what they'll also do is be like if I'll say one thing like, oh, I don't feel like watching this show or something right now. And then like 2 weeks later, I'll say I want to watch it. They'll be like, I thought you said that you didn't like that show. You said it. You said it. You changed your mind? Or they'll remember like things that I said, and then like think I'm lying whenever I say something like, I don't know if this makes sense, but like they'll be like, you said that, and then now you're changing your mind, or are you a hypocrite, or what? And they'll like get confused by me, when really like it's almost like they have all these snap judgments in their head whenever something happens, and they're observing really intently, but they don't like really have a lot of room to bend. Like there's been a lot of times where I'd be like, oh no, like at that moment in time what I meant was this, or like, oh sorry, I didn't say it specifically enough, but this is what I meant. And they'll almost like believe like what I said more than what I am saying now. Like I don't know, I think that it's like they don't believe the words I say coming out of my mouth. And I'm just like, you're gonna believe something that you remembered incorrectly before you believe what's coming out of my mouth. I think that I'm a pretty complex person, so they'll like maybe think I'm a hypocrite if I have two seemingly contradictory views that I'm holding at one point. It doesn't mean that they're contradicting. But I do hold beliefs that you wouldn't think go together. It seems like they'll be like, oh, like I thought you were liberal, or oh, I thought you were whatever, like trying to like see where I go or something, or like, oh no, you said this, so how could you possibly think that? You're a liar or something, when really, no, like I just kind of have my own beliefs that are my own, and if you want me to, I'll explain it to you, but it doesn't seem like you want to hear, and so then I just kind of shut down. But alright, I gotta eat lunch and get back to work, but thank you for watching. INTPs, believe in yourself. You guys are worth it. Thank you.